that if someone's a martyr, they get 72 virgins. And I've said this as a joke many times, and some of the Muslims think I'm being crass. But I say that if I were a martyr and I was in paradise, if I had 72 virgins, what would I do with them? So I just say that to say that there's no religious basis and don't think that we have anything in our religion that says if someone kills himself, they'll get 72 virgins. This is a folk tale, and some Muslims do believe it, but there is nothing in the Quran that says if you kill yourself or if you're martyred legitimately, that you would get 72 virgins. Yes?
To follow up, but if you believe you're dying in battle, and you can be martyred for dying in battle, and your killing yourself is secondary or necessary to die in battle, kind of like the doctrine of double effect. You intend one thing and foresee harm coming another way. Abortion to save the life of a mother. You intend to save the life of the mother. You do not intend for the child to die. In a morally relevant sense, you intend to fight a battle against an occupier. But as a byproduct, which you'd rather not have, you die. That doesn't make any logical or moral sense.
If a person is fighting to defend themselves with the intent that they are doing it in obedience to God, I'm not saying fighting in obedience, but they're fighting the war and according to the standards that are decreed by God and His prophet, and they die, I'm repeating myself, this person could be considered or accepted by God as a martyr. It doesn't mean fatalism. It doesn't mean that, there's a group of people coming and I'm by myself, so I'm going to get a gun. There's a group of 100 people and I'm going to try to shoot a couple of them and take a couple of them out. In that case, then it's better not to fight. It's better to preserve one's life. But in a army situation, in battle, protecting oneself, then how can I say this? A person that goes to fight in the military, and I was in the United States Navy for 4 years, by the way. When I signed up, I was in 2 hostile fire zones, one in the Adriatic Sea off the coast of Bosnia. That was during the genocide of Bosnian Muslims by the hands of the Serbs. The second one was off the coast of Iraq, enforcing the no-fly zone. I knew that in that situation, and being a combat zone, hostile fire zone, I could lose my life. So I wouldn't join the Navy or join the military with a death wish. I understand the consequences. I want to live, but at the same time, if I were to die in that process, I wouldn't want my family to grieve for too long. I would want them to look at me as dying a honorable death for a right and just cause. Just as many of us in America and in Michigan, we see on the TV all the time of our brothers and sisters, our cousins, our neighbors who died over in Iraq, and the flags are lowered to half-mast, and their pictures are shown on TV, and there's memorial services for those people. We respect those people. We hold those people in the highest esteem because they sacrificed their life for a greater good or a greater cause as we interpret it. So, I hope that clarified. Okay, yes ma'am.
To go back to before we talked about how in the Quran we talk about marriage and conception.
Yes.
Jesus speaks from his cradle to save human submission.
Yes.
At any point in the Quran, does Jesus, like in the Bible, they say that Jesus states he is the Son of God. In the Quran, anywhere, is it that Jesus has said that he is the Son of God, or is it never said? According to the Quran,
According to the Quran, he says the exact opposite. He says that people will come to him trying to make him greater than what he is or show him as a sign of worship, and that he he bear witnesses against them. That God asked Jesus, already knowing the answer, did you ask these people to worship you? He said, no. He said, glory be to you. You are high above. You are higher above anyone associating anything with you or any partners. So our Quran says the exact opposite, that he did not see himself to be an object of worship. And the Quran also says very clearly, one of the most important chapters of the Quran is called the purity. It's in the back part of the Quran. It's in the back of the Quran. It's the fourth to the last verse. It says, "Say, He is God. He is one, absolute and eternal. He gave birth to none, nor was he given birth to, and there is nothing comparable to him." And Jesus, as we believe in Islam, bear witness to this truth. Now, you might be saying, what happened to Jesus if he was not crucified? In the Quran, it is said that he was not crucified, and said that God brought him up to himself, or rose him up. And in the prophetic traditions of Islam, it is said that at the end of time, that Jesus will return back to the earth, that he will return back to the earth, and that he will spread justice throughout the land. Or basically, I think in Christian language would be to come back to help establish the kingdom of God. Perhaps that's the Christian language. So we do believe in the return of Christ, and we do believe that there will be an Antichrist, and Jesus will come back to take care of the Antichrist. Yes. There are, I don't even like to use the word translation. There are commentaries of the Quran. So you might call it a translation. There are commentaries. You could order one online, and I would suggest a couple of translations for you. I could tell it to the audience, also tell you afterwards and write it down. There is one by the name of Muhammad Asad, A-S-S-A-D. He was a Jewish, and he reverted to the Islamic faith. He translated the Quran. And there's also a man by the name of Abdullah Yusuf Ali. You can just type in Yusuf Ali. You can order this, and he has a fairly good commentary of the Quran in Arabic. There are some translations I don't suggest. And there's one by the Muslim Khan who translated the Quran. He translated it. He's from Pakistani origin, but it was translated in Saudi Arabia. I would not suggest that translation of the Quran. Yes, sir.
Do American Muslims divide themselves into Sunni and Shia and different sects like that?
Yes, yes.
What is the largest one in the United States?
The largest sect in Islam, worldwide and America would be Sunni. So it'd be about 85%. And those same demographics transpose themselves over here in America. The one exception to that is Dearborn, Michigan. And Dearborn, Michigan is majority Shia. It's a majority Shia enclave. And I believe that in Dearborn area, there's close to 100,000 Arabs in that area. But most of those who are Muslim are Shia. Let me also say this about Sunni and Shia. In the majority of beliefs of Muslims, scholars have said that there is about 80 to 85% agreement between the beliefs of Sunnis and the beliefs of Shia. I would say there's really no difference between a Catholic and a Greek Orthodox Christian. I would say